We're told that this circle has a radius of, let's write that down, radius of 10, and if arc length AB is between 5 and 6, what is one possible integer value of x? So what is one possible angle value that's an integer? So first thing I want to do here is find the circumference. So circumference is equal to 2 pi r. That's equal to 2 pi. In this case, r is 10, so 2 pi 10. So circumference is equal to 20 pi. And why that's useful is because I can basically set up a proportion right now. I can say x over 360, so the angle here over the total is equal to s. Let's say arc length is equal to s. So s over 20 pi. So I hope this sort of intuitively makes sense, because basically, you know, like if the angle here was 180 degrees, that would be half of the total circle, and this arc length would also be half of the circumference. So the two are proportional. And what I want to actually get is basically an expression for x in terms of arc length. So if I multiply both sides by 360 here, I'll get that x is equal to, s over 20 pi times 360, which is equal to 360s over 20 pi, which is equal to, what is that, 180? No, it's 18. So basically, so 18s over pi. So x in terms of s, so the angle given your arc length, is going to be following this relationship. And the key thing here is that we are told that if arc length AB is between 5 and 6. So what does that mean? Well, that means that basically, what is one possible value of x? So the lowest s can be, or let me go ahead and keep it. Let me just keep it at like this expression. So let me scratch this out. So basically what this tells us is that the lowest that that s can be is 5. So that means 360 times 5 over 20p is the lowest x can be. Again, reason being, if x is equal to this in terms of s, and the lowest thing s can be is 5, then the lowest thing x can be is whatever this is when you plug in 5. So this has to be less than x, because the arc length is between 5, so it can be basically like, it can't be exactly this, but it can be anything over this. Okay, and same thing with the max. So if we plug in 6 for s, that's the largest the arc length can be, which means that when you plug in s here, that'll be the largest x can be. So 360 times 6 over 20 pi. And that's basically the inequality that sets you up for the answer, because again, we were given the possible range for s, and using this relationship right here between s and x, we can get the sort of possible range of values for x, which is precisely what we're looking for. And we just want one possible integer value of x. So let me go ahead and quickly just type these into my calculator so we can kind of get an idea of what kinds of numbers we're talking about here. So 360 times 5 over 20 pi, that is 28.64 is less than x is less than 360 times 6 over 20 pi. That's going to be 34.3. So any integer value between these, if you put that as the answer, that would be correct. So possible values are, well, can't do 28, so 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and we can't go over 34 because that's out of the range. So those are your possible values.